Very early this morning, police moved into the Zucotti Park area to clear out the tents and the tarpaulins and the protesters. The mayor put a tweet out on his website, so the police saying that anybody who stayed in the camp would be arrested. They said that it was a temporary clear out, that the park now posed a risk to public health and safety. They needed to get in there, follow the rules of the park, which they've been ignoring up until now, and clear out that park. What's happened now is very interesting. There is a police cordon that's been thrown up around the area, manned by police. There are crowd barriers around, and that includes blocking access to the media. So all of the cameras that have turned up around here are waiting in a ring around the park. We can't get in there at the moment to see what's actually going on. No reports of immediate arrests, but there has been a slightly fractious relationship between the protesters and the police, so it would be surprising if there weren't a number of arrests during this operation. For the moment, some of the protesters are gathering in knots. There are probably 200 or so people behind me chanting their familiar slogans. They wait in some frustration, really, to be able to get down to Zucotti Park. It's unlikely the police will allow them to do that until they're happy that they've finished with their clean-up operation. Not very long ago, there was an attempt to clean the park because it's a privately owned park. And so the people who own the park have said, look, we need to clear it up, it's dirty, this is a health hazard. The police decided they were going to do that, and then at the last minute they changed their minds because there was a gathering of thousands of people down at Zucotti Park who gathered together and said, we're not going to move. And I think the police just decided it was more trouble than it was worth trying to move in there and clean it up. They always said that protesters have the right to their voice, they have the right to freedom of expression and freedom of protest. But there has been increasing pressure on the mayor in recent days from business leaders and from residents around this area who said that they're losing jobs and income as a result of these protests, and something needs to be done. The mayor's being criticised as well in editorials in local papers, which has made it quite difficult for him. And now, in the dead of night, really, without much warning at all, the police have moved in to clear out the Occupy Wall Street camp. They say it's temporary. They say the protesters are going to be let back in, but they're not going to be allowed to have their tents and tarpaulins because that is against building regulations.